as we develop again this concept of risk, let's go back to this issue of speculation. We all have to manage risk, but we also know that none of us knows the future, right? None of us knows the future. That's a big part of our burden because we risk each step into the future. So on the one hand, we minimize our risk, or at least we attempt to do so. But the Bible teaches us another concept, and we're going to see that and study it in some depth. That concept can be called knowledge substitutes. For example, you can insure yourself. Healthcare, for example. Insurance. Insurance premiums that you pay, well, you don't know what's going to happen in the future. It might be you never need your insurance, and some people take that risk. But other people understand that they can't know the future and it can go bad on them. There are other knowledge substitutes. You live under two knowledge substitutes for you, your parents. God has so ordered it that you go to your parents. You defer to it. If you live with them, they offset the risk that you have by covering you with the food and place to stay, place to live. You see, the many services your parents provide that you weren't able to provide for yourself is a knowledge substitute. Now, perhaps that old formula where they're in their latter years and you take care of them becomes their version of a knowledge substitute. Insurance, investments, deferring to experts, specialists in a field. The speculator we talked about who takes care of the marketing burden for the farmer. He buys the crop ahead of time at a set price by contract, is lifting the burden off of the farmer who's going to get that money. And now doesn't have to worry about advertising and marketing and all that. It's taking care of him. You see, that other fellow, the so-called speculator, is a knowledge substitute for the farmer. Helps the farmer minimize his risk. Knowledge substitutes, be they insurance or even children, be they investments, experts, specialists. A doctor that worked on my eye, for example, was a knowledge substitute. What if there wasn't such a doctor? What would I have done as a young man in college when my eye got damaged in an accident? You see, the Bible teaches us that we don't have to be able to predict the future, but there are means that we can take hold of that can substitute and help us to prepare for the future, to minimize our risk.